Good afternoon. I would like to call the May 12th, 2026 informal meeting to order at 1 p.m. Good afternoon, board. Who would like to start today?
Good afternoon.
Anyone? Mark, you want to start?
No.
No? Okay. Anybody have anything to discuss? Pretty quiet. Okay, I have something. So the FSBA Advocacy Committee representative and alternative, we just need to know right now for 2025, 2026, it's been Ms. Rodriguez and Ms. Bonzik. Do we want to keep that for 26, 27? Kelly just needs to know if you guys want to stay on that committee or if someone else wants to.
I'd like to stay.
I'd like to stay.
Okay, so we want to keep it, is everybody okay with keeping that the same?
Thank you.
Okay,
Absolutely.
well, that was easy. All right, anyone else have anything for discussion? Mark?
I know they're working on it diligently, but possibly we could get the end of the year calendar established before the end of the year, so we don't have dates like tonight where Nature Coast is having their Night of Excellence on a school board meeting night. So I would appreciate if that calendar got worked out in advance so there's no conflict.
Well, I think we talked about this before, and I don't think there'll ever not be a conflict, but we'll try to make it on the bigger things like school board meeting and awards night as much as possible. They have to coordinate their events as well, but
I think what I do like
try to
is
do that.
that we all try to go, when there's something that's on the same night, we try to make it work where one board member tries to make it to,
Well,
You know,
did
one
that
of the
other
event,
night.
we tried, yeah.
To Springstead, I believe. I was over at.
I had to actually go to Challenger. They had their band concert. We had,
Did anybody make it over to Springstead?
was it Gina that made it over?
Gina and Steve went to the Springstead Awards night.
I was at Chocochatty that night.
Cabinet looks at the calendar as it is, and then we divide it up and make sure that there's a representative from Cabinet at as many of the events. But it's the awards nights and things like that. And then I've gone to, when I can, some other events that are not necessarily on our calendar for Cabinet to attend, and just show up at them. I was at the Springstead ROTC Awards night, which is not on, I mean, it's on our calendars, but it's not, Cabinet doesn't usually go to that. And then a couple other things that I've attended in the district that I've tried to show up to as my schedule allows.
And the Night of Excellence, though, was really nice, and it would be nice to be able to.
Well, usually we do go to that, and so tonight will be the first year that we've missed it. And
Yeah, I went to Central because I was told that you were going to be over at Springstead.
I know.
so-
I had
but
to change
but I was
last
upset
minute. I'm
that
sorry.
tonight we had to miss that because
Yeah.
every year I go to that as well.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to Brad about that. But in general, I'll talk to principals
Yeah, he's aware
on
of
Thursday.
that. He apologized. I was speaking to
Okay.
somebody else going there to represent Sons of the American Revolution, and he was aware of the error and said it wouldn't happen next year. So
And Mrs.
Mr.
Bond-
Murchmack is
Yeah.
aware.
Mrs. Bonzik and myself went to Central the other night for the ROTC awards.
And I was at, Ms. Duvall, me and Ms. Rodriguez are at Chocochatty, and me and Ms. Duvall and Ms. Cropley were at Central's ESE.
I went to Springstead's ROTC award night.
We try, and
It's a lot.
It is, and I said it. It's hard to choose when, especially like Springstead.
wanna go to them all.
Springstead and Central had it on the same exact night, so
Well, that night we had Springstead had their Night of Excellence, Central had theirs, Chocochatty had their Veterans
That's-
Program,
yep.
Challenger had their band concert, and Explorer had their art show. So it was 5 things going on in one night.
Maybe when there's a night of excellence or graduation, we can stop the other schools from having other events and make them reschedule at a different day. That would stop some of what's going on. If just in that example, if Chocochatty was scheduled on a different day, maybe more people could have went there. I was just saying, if we got the calendar at least where the major events don't have any competition, that would be a step in the right direction.
Well, I think the major competition that excludes all the board members is having a board meeting and an event on the same night. So I'll work on
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
then
Yeah.
see about
Now,
the others.
Mr. Merchback said he realized his error on that, so that won't happen again.
Okay.
Nature Coast.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that was, he mentioned it to me.
Okay. You want, Ms. Rodriguez?
So I just want to say that West Hernando Middle School, Mr. Penner and I were over there the other day, and there is a Mrs. Emily Hagland that works at the front desk, and she is just amazing. She's a breath of fresh air. She greets everybody. She has such a great personality. She is attendance. She's the sub-coordinator, volunteer coordinator, secretary, many, many hats. And with all of that, she still has a smile on her face. So I think that front line of what parents see and whoever is sitting in that seat to represent that school, I think that is one of the most significant positions. So I just want to say that I appreciate her, and I appreciate that what she does for our district and how she makes that school shine from the minute that somebody walks in to the front office. And a lot of times she's getting the wrath of everything because they're coming in and they're upset. And whatever the problem may be, they take it out on her. And she still delivers with poise, and she does a really good job. So along with many of our schools, I've sat up here before and thanked several of them at the front desk of how they treat parents and how they are to people. So I think that's probably the most significant position that we can have in our district is that front line. It's that first face that people see and that parents see, and that can make or break of how they feel about the school, the climate, the district, any of the above. So I just want to personally give a shout out to all the secretaries, all of the people that sit at the front desk of all of our schools. And I know it's a tough job and you take a beating a lot of times. And I thank you for doing it with diplomacy. I think it means a great deal.
Another one that comes to mind is Terry Sellers over at Hernando High School. She's always smiling.
I did her shout out too. Remember a few? Yeah. So
She's very nice.
those are the type of people though that make a lasting impact. And even for us sitting here, we can sit here and just quickly come up with names. That's how parents feel too. So I think it's a huge position, and it's nice to have somebody that greets with a smile.
Yes, I would agree that the front desk person is the frontline person and kind of sets the tone when you walk into a school sometimes. So, and we do have a lot of great people that greet our guests and our students and our families. One of the things that we're looking at doing this summer is supporting them with some extra training and support for front desk people. I'm looking at like a maybe three-part training, one over the summer. I'd maybe like to get some of our secretaries and our front desk people that have ideas about things that they do at their school that really work, and get some of them to provide some feedback to everyone at a training maybe towards the middle of the year. And maybe I had done some training before with front desk people in the 7 habits around habit 5 and listening before you respond and how that works. So those are the 3 things we're looking at this year. The first being over the summer, and then a couple touch points throughout the year to get them together, because if you're at the front desk, it's either you or maybe one other person that comes in and helps you. So getting them together as a group, I think, will help them. I'm sure they could tell some stories and laugh and get together and get some training and support at the same time. So we're putting that together. Lisa's working on that, and I and Cabinet is working on that to provide that for them this upcoming year.
Thank you. I do want to add, I've had a few parents over the past year that have said to me, we're thinking about going to Florida virtual. And I stop them and say, well, can you explain why? And they don't realize that we have an e-school, whether or not they just want to pivot differently. They don't want to be in the traditional brick and mortar schools, but they don't realize that we have the e-school. I know I've said it before about marketing. I know we want to keep them in our building, but I think that we need to spread that word a little bit better with marketing for our e-school. I know that's a different topic than what you were just speaking on. But I think that's important, and a lot of them are like, oh, really? I had no idea that you have the e-school. So I think that that's something that we can improve on as well.
And I know that in cabinet, we talked about that, and I think Dawn Williams does some of that when they come to school choice to register and say, and give options like, have you heard about eSchool, and do some of that. I think that we probably need to extend that to the registrars and the front desk people, like during that training, give them that information, because the front desk person might be the person that day that greets that parent, or it might be the registrar, and we can give them something that they can give parents that gives them options with eSchool and all the other choices there too. But I know that Dawn, when they come to that department, they talk about options at that time. But certainly at the point that it's happening at the school would be a good alternative also. I don't think that we particularly feature it that way, but I mean, eSchool is on the website, it's there, but I mean, I think we could package it differently.
Department,
Yeah, we could,
maybe something.
yeah, we could put it there and package it in a way instead of it being in separate locations.
I have to say, Dawn does a great job, and if you call her with any questions or send a parent to her, she's always very knowledgeable and helpful in explaining everything. So I appreciate that. Anything else? Anybody else? No? We don't have a lot to say today. What's going on? Is it the weather? The weather? Anything else?
I think
Finished?
she is looking for conversation. I think we're all just
We're done?
slowly settling down, and we're almost done with school.
We're almost at the end.
This year is almost over, and next year
We made it.
yeah, the kids made it, and I know I've reached out to a lot of staff on different things that have been going on at the end of the year to get some of these kids graduating, and got some good news yesterday about one child that missed it by 1 point that got it the next day, which was great. So she'll walk, so we're all just like, okay, it's almost time for summer break.
All right. And with that, I will call this meeting adjourned at 1:13 p.m. Thank you.